New from Pixar, an uplifting family-friendly story of one fish's struggle to combat alcoholism. Coming this summer, Finding Dory in the gutter.
Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey exists because the Winnie the Pooh franchise no longer belongs only to Disney. It actually belongs to you. Yes, you sitting at home without your pants on. Did Cleveland's Balloon Fest have as nice of an ending as Up? Nope, Guinness refused to recognize it as a world record, and the balloons hampered a search and rescue mission for two lost fishermen who wound up dead. Classic Cleveland pulling a Cleveland.
You know what the best pickup line in the world is?
I'm a god. I literally control some giant element of nature. Dora in boots, and the viewer, if you choose to participate, extend a hand out and chant the words, "Swiper no swiping." You want to know what that resembles? An exorcism.
You see, in a typical monarchy like you have in Great Britain, the crown gets passed around based on the royal blood running through your veins. So if a king or queen dies, the new ruler is the oldest child. That's why Elsa, so strap in everybody, because the road to hell is paved in pastel pinks, has a really catchy reggae beat, and occurs in 4 quick phases. Child kidnapping and donkey sales are actually surprisingly profitable, and I'm about to show you how. But concentrating coca extract from several pounds of leaves results in a few grams of pure Colombian nose candy. Of course, then you have to chemically treat the powder version of cocaine and cook it to turn it into crack, so there is a lot of lab work that goes into turning leaves into crack. And in Zootopia, the problem comes when she wants to, you know, do literally anything else. Walk, dance, clean, paint, hit people with frying pans, sing Pinball Wizard, ride horses, essentially every single thing we see her do in this movie.
You suck! When it comes to water samples, you're a big old drip. I've seen toilet water that's better than you. You should be ashamed of yourself. Shh, we're doing science.
I can just see 6-year-old Timmy sitting there in the theater being like, "Oh, thank goodness there's finally a secure solution for my file transfer needs." Then he digs a booger out of his nose and uses it to garnish his snow cap. Hello, Internet! Welcome to Film Theory, where there's no rambling spiel needed to open this episode because we all know why we're here, to kill off as many Disney characters as we can. Anyway, suffice it to say, the king is impressed by what he sees, all the old people in the story die, and the donkey gets himself a wife and 2 kingdoms. This is why so many of these no-kill movies are musical reviews featuring questionable live-action segments of Donald Duck sexually harassing women and totally uncomfortable race relations. I mean, we're wasting all this money trying to get ourselves up into space, and yet we can't dedicate any money into researching the really important questions, how wombats are able to cubify their turds. The interpretation of his colors is that the blue represents the divine half of God, heaven, and his red represents the blood, mankind. So in Jesus, you have the mixing of these 2 elements, a God born amongst men and set to live as a human, red plus blue. And in Pomni, now at this point you're probably thinking to yourself, man, I should probably subscribe to this channel, and you know what I'm thinking? Man, that is a really good idea. Help us get that much closer to 10 million subscribers on Film Theory, I would appreciate it. But after you've clicked the red button below this video as well as rung the bell, I'm sure your next thought is disappointment. Welcome to Film Theory, a show best represented by the sad clown emoji. You see, he's sad because he lost custody of his kids. Fear is going to be your enemy. Boo! Gotcha!
I'm Matpat. 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 I'm Matpat.
Been trying out some cornrows lately? Have you been rocking the hipster man bun every day? Heck, have you been wearing a tight bike helmet too much? Any of these things mean that your hair is constantly being pulled away from the scalp. Certainly not enough to pull it out as we learned today, but enough to strain the hair at the follicle, and that leads to it falling out over time. And that's the— wait, the random room labeled princesses in the trailer for Wreck-It Ralph 2?
Yeah! Eat it!
I feel bad for those parents who made the responsible choice to take their kids to Zootopia instead of Deadpool. A good idea, but now I have to try and explain eugenics to a 4-year-old. But seriously, when life hands you lemons, you shoot a crossbow bolt through the heart of the woman standing between you and the throne.
An article from Science Focus entitled "How Do Small and Isolated Tribes Cope with Inbreeding?" It states that there are tribal customs to prevent inbreeding, but quote, "Inbreeding only becomes a serious problem when the population drops below 50 or so." Basically, reading the relevant scientific literature, there seems to be no one consensus, which sucks again because Encanto Noah literally reaches out to Donald Duck saying, come aboard my biblical ark? What? We have real-world evidence that a hippopotamus raised in captivity could, in fact, be released into an environment that it's not native to and not only survive, but thrive. And it comes from the world's most notorious drug dealer,